The greatest metal vocalist of all time.
Damn, these questions are hard, because now I'm like, there's a lot. Well, being a great heavy metal band means you have a great frontman.
Give me a sec.
I bet a lot of people said Dio.
That is easy as shit. That's Rob Halford from Judas Priest. Everyone knows that. It's not even up for debate. That is the answer.
I have to go with Ronnie James Dio just because I would not be the singer that I am today without him. You know,
I vote Lizzie
there's so
Hill.
many. Oh, buddy.
Until I come out with my vocal record.
Yes.
I think I'm gonna have to go with Hetfield, because I just think I think as a player, as a vocalist, and as somebody who understands how to speak to and connect with and engage their audience, I don't think there's somebody who's bridged the gap between old and new, die-hard metal and, you know, contemporary rock, big crowds, little crowds, musical people, people who just like to party and get amped. I think that James, as a front person, especially in the live arena, I think he's got a level of control over all things on stage that is mystifyingly powerful.
It's changed so much over the last 50 years, you know? So if I go by like consistency and then also someone who can sing in a dynamic way, whether they have a bit of a harsh vocal or a more soft vocal, I don't know. I think we got to give it up to Bruce Dickinson. I mean, he's been doing that for 50 years now, and he can sing in a more powerful way and in a more beautiful way still than anyone half his age. So I think he will probably go down in history as as like the greatest, not only metal vocalist, but like just rock and metal, heavy metal vocalist. And I don't know if there'll ever be someone that can do that, fill those shoes again, because it's just like a couple once in a lifetime acts that are still doing it, and Iron Maiden's one of them.
Dio's definitely got to be probably the greatest, but we'll just throw some other ones in.
Heavy metal!
Is that supposed to be Rob Halford?
Yes.
Okay. He is the metal god.
He is the metal god.
I mean, he self-proclaimed himself as the metal god, but
Well,
if you
you know.
see Rob Halford walk in, you can't help but go, there's the metal god.
He's
right
the metal
there.
god.
The metal god.
He's the metal god.
No one sings higher than him. I mean, it's between Dio and Rob.
Mine will be Rob Halford.
But I gotta throw Bruce Dickinson in there
Well, you have to.
on the current tour, because he is smashing it out there. The top three, Dio, Rob Halford, Bruce Dickinson.
Corey Taylor. As far as like aggression, what he's saying, the depth, the emotion, the longevity. I mean, obviously, the records speak for themselves. You got a self-titled Iowa, subliminal verses. I Hope It's Gone. Like the vocals on the first Let My record and Iowa are just like my favorite extreme heavy vocals. That's just my favorite.
I would have to go with Corey Taylor. Corey Taylor for sure. Just the way like his vocals have like evolved throughout time, they still stick with me, and I think he's the most distinct voice, and as far like lyrically very creative in the way he like shapes and molds his voice has changed almost on like every record, but still sounds like him. And I think even now he's still like crafting it in such a way that I've never heard anyone else do.
No, yours is gonna definitely be Alyssa.
Oh yeah, fucking Alyssa from Arch Enemy. I have no idea how to make those noises. And there's a lot of bands that have like fucking double tracking and shit on the heavy bit. Like metalcore bands these days have like 8 fucking tracks of screaming. It gets confusing, I don't know what you're saying anymore. Alyssa it's weird, it's like one of the monsters from Doom decided to like start a band. It just sounds fucking incredible. It's like, it's actually beautiful how nasty it is. I'd very much like to bump into her and get some tips on the voice.
Sam wants a vocal lesson from Alyssa.
I just want to sound like not a human anymore.
Biff Byford, Saxon, is the best heavy metal frontman. And he still can sing like a fucking king.
I mean, just because we're on tour with him right now, I am blown away by Randy. His whole presence on stage, this is my first time getting to see them. His presence on stage is just like one of the most convincing, like fucking hard asses I've ever seen on stage, you know? It's really cool, like to watch him just work the room, get people riled up. His mic sets, how they feel as a band on stage with him out front. It's scary. It's scary, yeah. He's completely not full of shit out there, you know? They're really doing that, and it's awesome.
Randy?
I don't know, bro. Seeing Corey in person on this tour has been the craziest thing I've ever seen. Like, it's just the stamina, like, We had a 30-minute set before them, and I was like, man, I don't know if I can talk because I went so hard. I can't imagine going, almost 2 hours a day every day. Corey Taylor, though.
Yeah, Corey Taylor's insane. Corey Taylor has like a rawness to him, like a power that like no other vocalist has.
Obviously, it's not metal, but Freddie Mercury. It's not metal, but he took that stage like a fucking god.
Oh, damn, this is hard as well. Bruce Dickinson is a fucking great frontman. He's doing the job every fucking night, and he's like inviting the crowd, and everybody feels like they're on the stage. I think he's doing the killer job.
Corey Taylor. He has the crowd by his hands every time, and it's like you don't see that. So that's what I think of.
I agree with that.
Because I'm just watching him live, you just see how the crowd literally just like falls into his like spell, and it's like it's ridiculous. So I'd say that.
I'm gonna say Jason from Fever 333.
Ah, yeah, that's true.
They're not technically a metal band. They're more of like a rock band, but they're called Japanese Voyeurs. They only had one album and then they dipped out. But Romilly Alice is one of my favorite rock vocalists of all time. She's so fucking good.
Sounds like a 14-year-old girl doing a Nirvana impression.
Yeah, and then she fucking rips out these like gravelly screams, and it's like, what the fuck? I love the duality.
Yeah.
Sick. Yeah.
There's no place for men in metal.
There's no place for men.
There's no place for men in our metal vocal selection.
Jack Black from Tenacious D said it on stage the other day. Ronnie James Dio. He is the greatest metal vocalist of all time. My favorite is Ozzy. I have Ozzy's face tattooed on my leg. I don't know if you can see this. Hold on. Sorry, I'm fucking messing around with the camera angles and shit. But this is my Ozzy fucking tattoo and his signature. But I love Ronnie James Dio, and I will answer that question to the best of my ability. And Ronnie James Dio is the best fucking metal vocalist ever. Ever. Ever, ever.
Oh, well, duh. Obviously, Corey Taylor is the best heavy metal frontman of all time, ever will be. 1,000%. You can't convince me otherwise, sorry.
Oh, Corey Taylor. I would go with... What are you looking at? First of all,
Yeah, that's Chester Bennington for me. I'm going with Chester.
He's going with Chester.
Chester Bennington. Chester Bennington.
Chester
Linkin Park.
I think
Power.
it would be, I'd say Randy Blythe for me because he's been a huge influence generally, Lamb of God, so Randy Blythe for me.
I want to lean towards Corey. Spends the majority of his sets like thrash level scream rapping almost to the point. Like if you look at it, if you break it down, it's almost like scream poetry. Dude is doing that and then sings fine. At 48 years old, from a vocal perspective of performance, to be able to withstand the brutality of your throat for 2 hours a night and then keep doing that, I want to say Corey. I mean, there's great frontmen. There's, I love Fred Durst. Like, from the hip hop side, right? I wouldn't compare him to Corey because it's so different. But, they're all in their own element. They all have their different certain shtick. Like Chester Bennington, when it comes to singing, sorry, he wins. But it's very perspective on what we're looking for.
This guy right here.
Hey, they never give me compliments.
But before him will be Corey Taylor. I'll go with Corey Taylor.
I hate being that dude, but James Hetfield is the voice of metal for so many years.
Yeah, same. So there's Josh, and then there's Corey Taylor, for sure.
I don't know. James Hetfield? I'm going with James.
Shout out to Ross Robinson. He got something out of Corey that, again, I don't think will ever be touched. Oh, Mark Warren, yeah. Mark Warren's right there. He left me hanging, but it's fine. That's the clip. Clip that, YouTube.